Hello and welcome back to the Airtime Rush YouTube channel. My name's Jordan, and in today's video, we're going to finally finish the Lost Rides and Attractions of the UK series. I do apologise for the long delay, but I've been extremely busy with other projects. But in this episode, we're going to cover 3 major UK theme parks: Alton Towers, Thorpe Park, and Chessington World of Adventures. Starting with Alton Towers, this park opened in 1980, and in its 45-year history has seen many rides come and go. The most iconic ride is the corkscrew. In 1979, John Broome, one of the original directors of the park, wanted to install a flagship attraction that would put the park on the map. The corkscrew was a Vekoma coaster that opened with the park in 1980. When it opened, it was the UK's and Europe's first double inverting coaster. The coaster stood at a modest 23 metres, reached speeds of 40 mph, and had a total duration of just 1 minute and 30 seconds. Which by today's standards sounds like a kid's ride. The ride was located at the back of the park in a land called Talbot Centre, which then became Festival Park until 1999. When the area became Ugland, Ugland saw the most significant changes to the coaster, where dinosaur bones were placed around the ride's layout and the whole coaster was repainted. In 2008, rumours started circulating that the corkscrew's removal was due to happen very soon, mainly due to the ride's hardware coming to the end of its service life. Surely enough, in October 2008, Alton Towers announced that the iconic attraction would close permanently at the end of the season. Having thrilled riders for 28 years, the coaster was swarmed by fans on its final operating day, and she truly got the send-off she deserved. The ride was replaced with 13 in 2010, an Intamin family multi-dimension coaster. Corkscrew was scrapped apart from its 2 iconic inversions, which were repainted and placed in the park's entrance plaza. The 2 iconic corkscrews can still be seen today and was a fantastic touch from Towers. Next up is the legendary Black Hole, which opened at Alton Towers in 1984. Black Hole was an indoor Schwarzkopf Jet 2 coaster and was situated in a giant tent. The coaster was located in Fantasyland, which is now known as X Sector. In 1985, the bottom of the first drop was slightly modified to make the ride smoother, as many guests were complaining that the first drop was very painful. The park also added lights in the lift hill so riders could see when the first drop was coming, allowing them to brace themselves. For the 1988 season, the ride was dismantled and transported to mainland Europe, where it was modified by BHS in Germany to accommodate dual car trains. The coaster was reconstructed and was briefly renamed Black Hole 2 in 1988, before reverting back to its original name the year after. In 1998, Oblivion opened in the area, and the Hall of Fantasyland was renamed into X Sector. Black Hole underwent another refurbishment to fit into the new area. The main change was the ride's tent, which went from its yellow and green colours to a more of a modern dark blue colour. In later years, the ride became too expensive to maintain, and the park decided to close the attraction in 2005. The coaster itself was dismantled and sold in 2007, but the tent still stood. Throughout the years that followed, the tent was mainly used for scare mazes. In 2012, a planning application was submitted for a new coaster to open on the Black Hole site, and in 2012, the tent was removed, ready for the construction of the Smiler, which opened at the park in 2013. Before Forbidden Valley was Thunder Valley, which was home to the legendary Thunder Looper, a Schwarzkopf shuttle coaster that opened in 1990 and was located in a small pit in the centre of the land. The ride was pretty simple. It would launch you forward reaching speeds of 53 mph before making its way through a 360-degree loop. After exiting the loop, it would go up a large spike which stood at a height of 137 feet before making its way backwards through the loop, back through the station, and up another spike before coming to a stop in the station. The cool thing with this coaster is its launch. It works by a large weight being dropped down a hole, which propels the train forward. The ride was very popular, but only lasted 6 years, as it was removed in 1996. The reason it was removed was due to a breach in planning requirements and complaints from locals. Alton Towers have a strict requirement to build below the tree line, and unfortunately Thunder Looper breached this. The ride was removed and moved to Hopi Hari in Brazil, where it still operates today under the name Catapult. There's so many amazing removed rides at Alton Towers that I could talk about, such as the Flume, 1001 Nights, Ripsaw, and Doom and Sons. But for now we're going to move down south to Thorpe Park. Even though Thorpe Park has been operating longer than Alton Towers, it doesn't have as many removed rides. But there's 2 iconic ones I'm going to be talking about in this video. The first is Wicked Witch's Haunt, which was located where Detonator is now. It originally opened in 1983 under the name Phantom Fantasia. The ride was a traditional ghost train and was created by Sparks, who would also go on to create Professor Burt's Bubble Works, which we will talk about later on in this video. The ride system was built by Mack Rides, and is the same system as the Cursed Alton Manor at Alton Towers. The theme was loosely based on the dark history of Britain. The most iconic scene was a Victorian street scene, which featured Sweeney Todd's barbershop. In 1994, the Two Swords Group opened the immersive Terror Tomb dark ride at Chessington, with Thorpe investing in Phantom Fantasia and giving it a complete overhaul. It was renamed to Wicked Witch's Haunt and featured a new soundtrack, UV lighting, new animatronics and special effects. The entrance of the ride was moved to the side of the building, and the entrance featured a large laughing witch animatronic. Unfortunately, in July 2000, the ride was destroyed by a fire which broke out. With the park moving forward into the thrill market, the park opted against rebuilding it. I would love Thorpe to replace the ghost train with a more classic ghost train. It will be a perfect addition to the park, and the park is screaming out for a really good dark ride. The final ride I'm going to be covering from Thorpe Park is their classic Mack Rides log flume, Logger's Leap. Logger's Leap opened in 1989 and was located around a lake at the back of the park. It opened alongside a new themed area called Canada Creek. The ride was the tallest flume ride in the UK, but this didn't last long as Nightmare Niagara opened at the American Adventure theme park, which we've already covered in this series. Following the closure of Nightmare Niagara, Logger's Leap retook the height record. The first lift and hill was enclosed in a tunnel, which was removed in 2013 due to poor structural maintenance over the years. The most iconic part of the ride was the massive double down drop right at the end. You could stand in Canada Creek and get a great view of the final drop. In 2015, the ride didn't open with the rest of the park, and the park went onto social media and stated the ride was under redevelopment and they hope it will make a splash again soon. However, plans changed, and in 2019, the park announced the ride would never reopen. During the 2019 Fright Nights, the station building was used for the Creek Freak Massacre maze, which lasted up until the ride was removed in 2023. In 2024, Thorpe Park started building a brand new roller coaster on the land, and in 2025, Hyperia opened to the public, the UK's fastest and tallest roller coaster. Now moving a few miles down the road to Chessington World of Adventures. Chessington was originally a zoo, but in 1987 became a theme park, and opened with a few rides. In 1990 the park opened a new themed land called Transylvania. One of the new attractions was Vampire, an aerodynamics suspended swinging coaster, which still operates today. The other attraction was the legendary Professor Burt's Bubble Works, a boat ride themed to a fizzy pop factory. The ride took you around Professor Burt's factory and featured some really cool themed rooms and some really cute characters. The ride was an instant hit and feedback from the public was mostly positive. Over the years the ride became a fan favourite, and in 2006 the ride was refurbished. The refurbishment featured the ride being completely transformed into a soap factory, with the ride being sponsored by Imperial Leather. Most of the sets were reused and refurbished, and almost all the animatronics were removed or made static. When the ride reopened, it was faced with negative reviews, with people saying the charm and comedy had been completely stripped from the ride. In 2014, the sponsor Imperial Leather was removed from the ride, but the actual ride stayed the same. In the summer of 2016, the park announced that the ride would close to make way for a new dark ride. The ride would become the Gruffalo River Adventure, and was completely rethemed. The reimagined ride opened in 2017, and the reviews were mixed, as lots of people were still so angry and upset about the closure of the Bubble Works. However, over the years, Gruffalo River Adventure has become a new fan favourite, and I for one love this dark ride. It fits the area perfectly, and is a really cute ride for the whole family. With the Gruffalo IP running out soon, could we see the Bubble Works return? Or is the Bubble Works a ride of the past? Let me know what you would like to see take over the Gruffalo in the future, and also let me know your memories from the classic Bubble Works ride. The final ride in the series is going to be Ramesses Revenge, a Huss top spin that opened in the park in 1995. It was located in the Forbidden Kingdom section of the park, which opened up the year before. A large pit was dug so the 40-foot ride wouldn't be seen from above the tree line. A raised queue was built around the ride, creating an awesome immersive experience with the flat ride as the centerpiece. It was originally themed to ancient Egypt, and was the first top spin to feature water fountains, which would drench the riders, adding another throw level to the ride. The ride was extremely popular with both riders and non-riders, as it was an incredible ride to watch, and extremely fun seeing guests get soaked. The ride struggled with breakdowns as it got older, and the park did the bare minimum to keep it operating, which included running it on a short and less intense cycle, which unfortunately put people off riding. Huss Rides brought out a brand new, more reliable floorless model, the exact same model as Toxicator Alton Towers, but with the park being a more family-friendly park, they opted against the new model, and in 2019 the ride closed. Chessington announced that the new ride replacing Ramesses would be a family drop tower named Croc Drop. There's so much more I could cover with Chessington, like Beano Land, and now even Wild Asia, and maybe I'll do a video covering the history of Chessington in the future, so let me know down below in the comments if that's something you'll be interested in. My name's Jordan, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you check out the other 3 videos from the series, I'll leave them linked below, and I will see you all in the next video.